we're 2-1 so far. Honestly, this deck feels really solid. I just needed to find a couple of main deck and sideboard changes that would actually make it go from good to great. Because, oh shit, that's not what I wanted at all. So before, I was struggling to kind of close these games and matches. Like, I could close some games, but I would end up with a lot of 1-2s. Which just is not quite good enough, unfortunately. You could 1-2 every single match in a league, which means you were almost 50%, like game win percentage. Like, not quite, you'd obviously be at 33%, but you would be 0-5, so. This hand's great. I mean, we've got Stoneforge, we've got some interaction, and then we've got ways to protect our Stoneforge. It's a keep. Our opponent's on the good old Soulscar Mage go. I mean, honestly, I don't hate just ousting this and then just playing a Stoneforge next turn. We might be getting Sword here. This is Obosh, I think. Yeah. I honestly feel fine about this though. So they have a Swift Spear, sure. Sword of Fire and Ice is just so good against their deck. Hopefully we get them to bolt us here. No. Huh. Well... play a Nib Magus Elemental. This is pretty likely to draw out removal. But they're also like not super prone to removing it because Flusterstorm. So they cast up Blood Moon. It's kind of annoying. We have a basic island in play, but this is not good for us. We're just gonna pass here. We're gonna try to Flusterstorm, get a pretty big Flusterstorm off, make this Nib Magus huge, then try to win, I guess. We'll see if they pay. Gets to be a 3-4 at the end of this, which is not bad. But it's also not as big as I might have wanted it to be. It does get to delay this attack, and then we get to swing at them. Like, a 3-4 is not atrocious on this board. Our opponent's on 1 card in hand. We're definitely going to be just playing Storm Tamer here, and then we'll be holding up protection for this Nib Magus on future turns. Which might be good enough. It might actually be fine. I'm definitely a little concerned about it, though. That's for sure. Okay, opponent's swinging with these two. I think we're just gonna take it. We could throw this intruder under the bus, but if I draw a Hussar, it's pretty good for us. Okay, they dart. That's fine. It really does suck though, that's for sure. I mean, I think we basically just lose this game to, yeah, we're just gonna concede here. I don't think we're going back. If we had basic planes to top deck, which we should, and it's in the version that I have updated here. We have the planes. I added it yesterday. Okay, Trickster's good here, but I think that's about it, honestly. This is a matchup where Remand looks really silly, and Meddling Mage looks really silly. Meddling Mage isn't atrocious, and I mean, it's not like Trickster's that great, but yeah. So like, there'll still be one Meddling Mage. It's not awful. Make sure Obosh doesn't hit the table or like nullify some of their darts. Love to play first though. We could just hope we draw a land. The issue is Stoneforge isn't even like the absolute nuts against them. It's just like okay. But I think I'm fine with keeping this. I don't think we're gonna find a 6 that's a whole lot better. We are going to pass here. Intruder's really good against turn 1 prowess creatures. Gains a lot of life, like 2 life when it enters, basically. Which is great for the effect the card has, I guess. I mean, drawing exactly Flusterstorm here was an argument to play Niv Magus Elemental. But I could play the Niv Magus now. I mean, unfortunately, I think this match is probably a loss. We really need to hit a land next turn. And if we don't hit a land next turn, I'm not sure if we can win. Yeah. But if we do hit a land next turn, then we can get this Stoneforge out. And Sword of Fire and Ice would be nice. Sky Hussar wouldn't be the worst top deck. Said could have just been a mulligan. I wouldn't have minded that, honestly. Okay, draw for turn. Okay, well we hit our land. This is kind of exactly what we wanted. The issue is I don't think we're really in the market to cast our Stoneforge this turn. Which is fine. I think we'll just hit our opponent for 1 here. Pass. We'll play this Trickster and then Dirtle their Swift Spear. They'll probably bolt us main phase, but we'll see. Yeah. This is fine though. If we could draw the both out of them, then we might just be on the Batter Skull plan. The issue is their deck is just mono removal, so it's kind of hard to just get a Stoneforge and stick it. If we get a land, though, then we can actually protect it with Flusterstorm. This might be like a bolt on our end step or something. Okay, well, we just passively hit the sword. It's interesting. I don't think we're blocking next turn, so I'm gonna just swing for 1. Having the sword in our hand gives us a nice variety of options here. With what to do with the Stoneforge from now on. We do have the Sailor in hand as well. Opponent plays Kozilek's Return. Oh, that's rough. If we hit a land instead of the sword, then we could have Flusterstormed that. But now they hit us for 4 minimum. If they have a dart here, we're kind of just dead. No, they don't have a spell. Guess we got that going for us. Wow. Yeah, our opponent might just be calling Obos to their hand. No, that's pretty freaking good. I don't think we could beat this. We're just too slow. We're really far behind on mana. Like, it's not beating the Season Pyromancer, it's beating the Season Pyromancer underneath the pressure of all of these Swift Spheres. Okay, well, we'll see. If we can draw a land, maybe we can win. I mean, out of all of our draws, this one was one of the better ones. Again, I don't think there's a world we're blocking with this Spectral Sailor. The good thing is we can block a Swift Spear and then force them to cast a spell. And then we can counter it. Yikes. So I think the plan is that we double Flusterstorm and then hope to get this Niv Magus Elemental to be a lethal attacker. And then we draw a Merfolk Trickster or an Oust and then tap their Elemental and kill them. If we had a land, Maul would be an out too. Now they have 2 blockers. I mean, this is just unfortunate, I guess. Take their token, I suppose. You just cast it and then counter it. Play another Magus Elemental. I mean, we're pretty much just dead. I guess we just have to hope they don't have any spells in hand at all. We'll see how well that works out for us. Yeah. Something's telling me the Hope the Prowess deck doesn't have any spells is not a winning play. But hey, you know, like maybe it'll work out. We're just so dead here. There's just no point in doing this. We're just spinning our wheels. You just concede here. It's rough. Okay, well, opponent's deck's very good. Guess there's not a whole lot to say there. Kinda got handled. Fondled and not the way I like it. Okay, why does my window keep resizing? Okay, well, we won the die roll. Playing against the Magic card seller themselves. No idea who they are. We'll keep this. This could honestly be in a blue-red Delver deck. This hand. See, I kind of want to lead turn 1 Nymph Magus, but I'm also fine with just waiting. Because I could play it with protection next turn. So let's go to our main phase. Play land pass. We can get a tapped Hollow Fountain here is probably the play. I'm not countering a whole lot turn 1. Yeah. Just Tron things. Okay, get our Hollow Fountain. Nope. Tap. That off our turn. Okay. Well, if we find something to target with this Flusterstorm, we can really make it big. Hopefully our opponent casts a Stirrings this turn. That would be so fucking metal. I don't think they are. I'm pretty sure they don't have Natural Tron. I like the read is that they kept a hand with a lot of stars and then 2 Tron lands, but I think they would have also cracked some of them. I don't know. It's a little interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're gonna just Flusterstorm our own remand, I think. Which is usually not how you think that interaction is gonna go, but it makes sense. Okay, so they did have the Tron lens. That makes sense why they weren't cracking them aggressively last turn. So yeah, I'm fine with just... I'm fine with just Flusterstorming this. We'll let this resolve. Let's see what they reveal. Hopefully it's not an Ulamog. Worm Coil. Okay, that's perfect. The reason for this is I wanted to jack the storm count as high as possible before I cast this Flusterstorm. Because now we get 8 counters. And we get the draw card off the remand. Perfect. Okay, so we go to our turn. Untap. Draw a card. Play a land. Go to combat. Swing it down for 9. 10. See what our opponent's up to. Alright. I was a pretty chunky and Magus Elemental. Definitely a fan of Veto here. Negate's pretty good against their deck. Tails End solid. Trickster's honestly fine, but I feel like a Null is better. And I like Meddling Mage more than Trickster here too. Honestly, Oust is fine for resolved Worm Coil engines, but that's about it. We have 5 more cuts. I mean, I'm honestly fine just going down all the Oust. It's a little soft too when they side in a lot of the Thought-Knot Seers, which they generally do, but we can counter their turn 4 Thought-Knot Seers or turn 3 Thought-Knot Seers. Okay, so we need to make 3 more cuts. I mean, it's possible we just don't want too many annuls here, but I really like how Annul answers Oblivion Stone. I mean, honestly, the cut could just be Meddling Mage, to be completely honest. But it could also be something like Storm Tamer, too. We could even just go completely off the Sky Hussar plan and then just try to clock them faster. I think that's definitely a possibility. Hussar is really good against a lot of the fair decks, but maybe we want to be off Hussar plan sometimes. Yeah, I think I'm fine going down like one Hussar, two Storm Tamers here. Maybe, yeah. Actually, Storm Tamer is probably better than Sailor here. I think Sailor's really good in the... maybe one of each. Actually, probably just down to Intruders. I feel like Intruders the worst. Because it doesn't have evasion. Which is important when we're trying to fly over warm coils. Okay, resize, there we go. Alright, well we got a very Hussar-y hand with 4 lands. I think this is a mulligan. Like, we could draw into interaction, I guess. This one's close. This one's definitely close. I think on the draw, it's not good enough, though. I'd like to have access to 1-mana interaction. This hand's fine. I think we'll just bottom a land and run it like that. I'm definitely not excited about this hand, though. But that's fine, I guess. I don't have to be excited about it. It just has to work. How hot is countering this expedition map with Tailstone? I'm totally game to do that. See if our opponent cracks at main phase or not. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like our opponent's not. Wait. This just feels off to me. I think they just have Natron in their hand. Which fucking blows, honestly. Okay, well, we're gonna go to our turn. Get to play a land. Combat. Hit them for 1. Bop. Ugh, the Natron is just so annoying. It's so obnoxious. But we had the read on it, which is good. I feel like if we didn't have the read on it, we might have been in a pretty rough spot. Hopefully we don't get Bale of Summer here. That would kind of be worst case. Oh my god, I thought we were going to have to concede. Okay, well that works. Stirrings. Oh, we're just going to keep their revealed cards over here. Try to figure out what they're trying to curve into. Planeswalker that costs 8 mana. That is perfect. That's exactly what we want them to reveal. Okay, go to our turn. We're going to draw a card. Flusterstorm. I think we're just gonna Flusterstorm our tails on. This isn't like a ton of power, but it puts 6 power in play for 1 mana, which is pretty good. I thought New Bagus Elemental is just kind of consistently good. Okay. Did that to play around their sorceries. Warping Whale and the other one. Spatial Contortion. If they're running them, which, I don't know. It's kind of a coin flip, honestly. So we kind of do need to hit interaction. And we didn't. So we'll see how that works out for us. Our opponent's just going to get Blast Zone here, and then we're kind of fucked, because they get to go Blast Zone and then follow it up with a Worm Coil. But we also just don't have an answer to that. I mean, we're probably just going to game 3 here, honestly. I'll see if we could draw into an answer. Honestly, if we just draw something good like a sword, I'll probably keep playing. So you get to play sword and then end of turn Spectral Sailor. I mean, we're just not racing 6 life a turn. Plus, their top decks are really good. And they still have 3 cards in hand. Okay, I mean, honestly, setting out the Sky Hussar probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I just wasn't sure what to do, and I was getting crunched for time. So let's bring all of these cards back in. We have 3 cuts to make. And I'm pretty sure they're just going to have to be in the spell department. So what are our worst spells? I feel like Annul hits the least. Veto hits the most. Tail's End hits a lot. Remand hits everything. And like Flusterstorm plus Niv Magus is a great way to close out the game early. I mean, we're probably not fetching out Maul at all this matchup. Seems like a mistake. I feel like I always regret it when I side out the 3rd equipment. But I feel like Stoneforge in general is probably not great. I'm fine with shaving like a Stoneforge. So we shaved an Annul, a Stoneforge, and maybe just 1 Tail's End. No, that doesn't seem right. I feel like having 3 Tail's End in is really important. I think we'll save on the Flusterstorms. We're not going to like cut them completely, but we'll save on the Flusterstorms. Okay, we'll see what we get. Stoneforge is a lot better on the play, though, so you could make an argument that we should have taken it out on the draw, kept it in on the play. This hand seems good. I mean, we're basically just looking for interaction, and we've certainly found our interaction. Mage is really good at beating, or it just lines up well into Ancient Stirrings, because they can Stirrings, and then we could just name whatever they find off of it. But we shall see. We're probably just leading Niv Magus Elemental here, because it's really good if we draw a Flusterstorm. Yeah. Okay, so our opponent was in the tank for a little bit, but they're on 7 cards, so maybe it's a worse 7-card hand, but I'm not going to read too much into it. Goes 17, a Hollowed Fountain, yes. Niv Magus Elemental, pass the turn. We're either in the market or just slamming these two creatures, which you probably are. Yeah. So we'll just slam these two dorks, and then we'll hold up Mage. Draw. I mean, the advantage is that we don't have to, like, slam both of the dorks, because one of them is Flash. But yeah, so we could name something cheeky. We'll see, though. We're going to just be a little bit patient with this Meddling Mage. We'll be casting it next turn, I think. Potentially. It depends. If they go second Tron land here, I think maybe our opponent just kept a one-lander then. Oof. I'll play Sailor. Go to our turn. Draw. I'll pass. I get an intruder if they don't have anything this turn. See, I don't think it was Natron after they tanked for so long. I think they're definitely on, like, Sylvan Scrying here or something. Okay. Yeah, if I could just deny them Tron here, that would be really great. I think we're probably most scared of Thragtusk here, so I think that's what we're going to name. And we have another one, just to name other things, if we decide to. I mean, Thought Knot could come down next turn if they have that. I think Thought Knot's a bigger issue. We'll name Thought Knot and then Thragtusk. Okay, our opponent's not playing Thought Knots here this turn. It's good. If they're just stuck on 3 lands flat, this one's not going to be naming Thragtusk, I don't think. I think we're scared of plenty of other things. Probably... What's the scariest thing they could have? It's actually a good question, I'm not sure. Okay, so I think I'm going to look to just counter an Ancient Stirrings this turn with this Flusterstorm. I can't quite put lethal into play anyways, unless I do this, so this is kind of the most aggressive play, and we're going to get rewarded for it. So we only need to put 3 power in play, and one of this is the Prime Power Intruder, so we actually are fine if we just let 2 of these counter the Sylvan Scrying, and then we eat the last one. That's still lethal. And then if they have Dismember, it's obviously not good for them. So our opponent's doing the math real quick, but they're just dead here, I think. Okay. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Opponent's at 8 life. Pretty freaking good. Alright, well, there we go. There's our 3-2. Okay, so what do I think? What are my thoughts on some of the cards he played, some of the cards he didn't play, and maybe what I would change? Well, actually not sure. I think it was honestly pretty fine as is. I'm not sure if I would change it a whole lot. I think the sideboard could use a little bit of tweaking. I think our counter suite is pretty awkward. I like a null for Heliod, and it's good here too. But some number of ceremonious rejections wouldn't feel out of place. These tricksters were really good in the main deck, but I'm not sure if they're strong enough as a sideboard card. But I wasn't like totally disappointed with them either. I think maybe timely reinforcements would be a solid addition to help beat prowess. But we also have a lot of creatures. Sometimes you just have more creatures in play than they do. What else? What else? I mean, maybe the Bane deck could use something as crazy as like Battle Screech. It carries swords really well, and then it also splash back. I mean, Battle Screech requires white creatures, right? So Battle Screech probably wouldn't be good. But I think there's definitely some token producing cards that could be very interesting in our deck. I mean, honestly, this is the big flex slot right here. I'm really not sure what these 4 cards should be. They could obviously be meddling mages. They could be tricksters. I think some sort of disruptive creature is good. But it's worth noting that we're also not on force negation here. We are instead opting for Remand, which is a nice all-purpose counterspell that has solid synergy with Fluster Storm and Magus Elemental. It also has positive synergy with Meddling Mage. So, yeah. But yeah, the list felt good. We definitely want this basic plains in here. And I'm going to try to figure out what I want this last card to be. I think there's definitely some potential considerations. I think Pride of the Clouds is probably good. It only starts at a 1/1 though. Yeah, it also has forecast, which is not very important for this one, as opposed to my child Sky Hussar. But yeah, we're only running 8 creatures that have flying. 8 1-minute evasive creatures with flying. So I don't think it would quite be good enough. Obviously, if we were on like the full 16 flash evasive or 16 evasive flyers, we could potentially run that big angel that can like get cheated into play with 4 creatures. I think that would be kind of interesting. Sephara, I think. But yeah, I wouldn't mind these meddling mages just being win conditions. I think that would be really cool. I could also see this deck going Jeskai, potentially Jeskai. And then I could run bolts instead of ousts here. I think that would be kind of interesting. As the deck would still be super base blue, and I'd just be splashing 2 colors. I think that would be very... I'd be in the market for that for sure. Actually, that brings about another thing. If I'm in Jeskai, I could technically run Embercleave in my Stoneforge deck with all of these cheap attackers. That might be worth running. Embercleave seems really fucking funny with Magus Elemental. I mean that's the spicy suggestion. We played the Jeskai variant with Embercleave instead of Maul, and then we run Bolt instead of Oust, which has a bit more synergy with our tempo game plan. I don't hate that. I actually think that would be fucking hilarious to play. Actually, I guess I'm just obligated to play that now, aren't I? I like finally made this Jeskai version work, or this blue-white version work. No, I want to make a copy of this. So this one is just going to be, this isn't going to be version 2, this is going to be version E. Okay. So to rework the mana base, we probably just run one Hollowed Fountain still, but now we're going to cut 2 islands and then run 2 steam vents. I'd like to have access to 2 fetchable red sources because Embercleave has the double red mana cost. So I'll add 2 of these to the deck, and then we're going to kind of veer this by probably we'll keep 1 Seachrome Coast because I like having the painless white that doesn't force us to fetch the plains, and then we'll just go 3 Spire Bluff Canals. This is the split I like. Well, that's just unfortunate. We might just want the 3rd basic island though, so we're a little bit less painful on mana. The 3 fast lines seems fine. Maybe something like this, and then obviously cut them all for the Embercleave, and then the oust for the bolt. This sounds really fucking fun. I'm not sure where it would be like fantastic. Reject Jeskai Delver. Play Jeskai Embercleave. I mean, I actually don't hate Embercleave. Like, I think Embercleave would be a fantastic payoff for this. I also feel like there's definitely some sort of blue-red or white-red creature that would be really good in this slot. But I just don't know what it is. So I think I'm going to do a bit of digging. Actually, Jack, you know what? Let's just do some fucking digging right now. Okay, let's look for a 2 CMC creature. Okay, so Scryfall. We're going to look for 2 CMC, red, white, at most these colors. And then it's going to have CMC 2. Legal in Modern, Pipeline Creature. Yeah, and then we're just gonna search. We're gonna get a lot of results here. 674. We could play Adanto Vanguard. Battlecry seems fun. I think, I mean, like, obviously just something with Double Strike would be really funny with our, Actually, that was the other thing. Eternalize? I played a Pauper deck similar to this, and I ran this cat. Yeah, I ran Sacred Cat, and it has Embalm. Sacred Cat is really fun because it has lifelink, so when you slap an equipment on it, you get a lot of value. But you also have this creature that's really hard to remove, and then can tap with your Sky Hussar. I think that's really cool. Rest in peace, Gataxian Probe. Rest in peace, Gush. My Pauper deck is no longer legal. That's fine. It's fine. That deck was not good in the metagame that I played it. Okay, so Embercleave. Okay, I don't want to run a Double Strike creature because we already have Double Strike on the Embercleave. I think is where I'm going to stand on that. Get to... No. Yeah, but like before I was thinking that slot could be a Mirrored Crusader, but we're going to stay away from double white because we're in double red. So we can play a red card if we wanted to. I think haste is interesting. There's definitely a couple that are like, alright. Search your library for this. No. Blood Seeker. I mean, spicy. And again, I think those 4 slots could very easily be token generators. I think tokens would be very good. Yeah, I was thinking of something like Ash Zealot would be fun, but I don't want to pay 2 red mana for this. I think I only want to be... I see, Squadron Hawk sounds fun, too. I don't hate the idea of Squadron Hawk. But I feel like Squadron Hawk, whenever I've played it, whether it's been Pauper or Modern, it's just always felt a little bit too slow. Yeah, I feel like I'm not playing Ariok Champion in my Splash White deck. Oh yeah, we also couldn't. Oh fuck. Yeah, I feel like our deck literally cannot play Ariok Champion in Evercleave. Because if I was playing the blue white deck, the blue white version, we could totally be running Ariok Champion. However, we just have to tweak the mana base a little bit. I think it would be good though. Like, I don't think we can play Ariok Champion in 4 basic islands, but I also want to just be playing 4 basic islands, so I'm not really sure. So we're blocked by artifact creatures. I don't think we're going to be playing any of these janky, equipment-y boys, but they are fun. Like, if this creature turned into a 4/4 with flying, like, how fucking broken would that be? I'd try to find a way to jam that into Heartbeat. Okay. No. Blanking, okay. I hate having to void creatures show up on this search, but it's fine. May untap target creature. Does that do anything interesting? But like, we don't have a whole lot of tap effects. Like, it would make Stoneforge a little bit better. We could untap our sorted up creature. Seems bad though. Untap Stoneforge to violence something else. We could play Sarah Avenger fairly. That doesn't seem very good though. Let's create a plus almost one. No, it doesn't seem good. What about... Mentor. I feel like Mentor is a good mechanic in our deck, right? What about Mentor? I feel like we'd really like Mentor with like all of our small creatures, especially the evasive ones, right? I think like our deck plays Mentor better than any other one. Like, I think the Goblin-y Mentor sounds good, right? Right, not the type line. Jesus Christ. Text Mentor. I think the Goblin makes sense as that slot. Also, Aurelia seems really fucking metal too. Legion War Boss. So we cast it, and then at the beginning of combat on our turn, we get a 1/1 Gobbo. Tajik. Non-combat damage that I would deal to other creatures I control. It has haste, which is really good. I don't know. I don't think Tajik's good enough, though. I think it'd probably be Warboss, Tajik, or Aurelia. Yo, yo, yo! Welcome in. Alright, I've been trying to be a menace to society. Actually, let me catch you up. So, I've been playing... Are you familiar with my mono blue Sky Hussar deck? Well, if you're not, it's an absolute masterpiece that tries to leverage Sky Hussar's card advantage to win the game. And recently, I decided to splash white to run Stoneforge so I can increase my threat density because I was kind of just disappointed with Smuggler Sculptor. And then I had this really shitty idea to splash red and fetch out an Embercleave. And then I could run Lightning Bolt over Oust. And I'm probably going to regret it, but it sounds like a lot of fun. Actually, there's a couple of other cards that wouldn't be bad too. Yeah, but we could run one Aurelia. Like, how do we feel about just running one? I guess Aurelia is not too great because we don't have too many red or white creatures. Although I guess Vigilance and Trample aren't super relevant keywords. But Warboss seems good. I would not hate running Warboss. No, I know. I'm aware. I'm aware. But I didn't bring my deck there to Vegas, I don't think. No, the other guy in chat was the guy that I was with, GP Oakland. No, this deck is a absolute fucking disaster piece. I love it. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about mentoring. Mentor seems like fun, but I don't think we could actually make it good. I mean, maybe I'm fine with paying 3 mana for a Legion Warboss. This just seems awful. I guess you're generally just pumping the Aurelia Exemplar of Justice anyways. So it's 4 for a 4/5 flyer that puts +1/+1 counters on your other creatures. Bounty Agent. Bounty Agent seems like fun. It seems really bad though. Trying to think. Oh, you know what? You know what? I would still like the creature to be white or blue, though. So maybe it has to just be white. What kind of threat am I looking for? I'm not sure, actually. I think it could either be a creature with value attached to it. We are also looking for maybe a way to generate tokens to tap Sky Hussar. Or, Fuel or Embercleave, or just equip the swords to him. So like Spirit tokens would be amazing, but like tokens of that vein, like yeah. Do you want me to give you the rundown on this deck? I just 3-2 to league with it. Yeah. I could maybe fit in part of like a match. I could play like a game with it. Play with the version I was just playing. And just like 1v1 queue. Yeah, let's actually just talk about the deck while we're playing a 1v1 queue. That might be more productive. I could play you? Okay, you know what, Jack? Let's fucking do it. I challenge you to a Pokemon battle. let's run this one. Okay. Yeah. So the basic premise of the deck is we're trying to draw cards with Sky Hussar, and or win the game with Stoneforge Mystic. The plus of Stoneforge in this deck is we have 16 one-drop creatures to slap swords onto, so it actually makes Sword of Fire and Ice really fucking good. Oh, this is unfortunate. Okay, this hand's great. So we get the bottom sword here, and we get the bottom... Oh no. I'm not sure if I like those. I'm not sure how I feel about the no Luris. I kind of have no idea what you're playing. Okay, go to our turn. Upkeep. Yeah, we'll draw. So the thing about Sky Hussar is you could actually flash in your one drops before you cast it, because it's not just at the beginning of your upkeep, it's just any time during your upkeep. And before Grixis Dragons. I mean, knowing Jack, it's probably Grixis Dragons. No. Thought we'd get a nameless inversion in here. Not quite, not quite. Honestly, I feel like the mulligan to 5 against mono removal probably wasn't great. But you know, it's not completely my fault I was in double to 5. We're gonna blame the deck. But yeah, so you're basically just trying to draw cards and then slap equipments on things. The deck's actually pretty linear. It used to be a lot more complicated. I was playing it with Ninja of the Deep Hours and Wingcrafter, and you could just like reset your soulbound. It's kind of interesting. I'm not sure like what that means flavor-wise, if you're just like divorcing your creatures and then remarrying them or whatever, but I think it's pretty interesting. Okay, definitely playing the Nidmagus Elemental. But since Jack's stumbling on lands, I could probably just start to draw some cards. Yeah. I mean, honestly, once somebody like starts hitting your creatures with 1 random removal spells, they kind of just lose the game. Now we get to draw. To draw again. Fuck. Huh? That's the second time I've done that in 2 days. Where I thought I clicked the creature to attack and then hit 1, but I ended up just not clicking the creature and then hitting 1. Or hitting 1 and then clicking the creature. Well, we're just gonna hope that 1 point of damage doesn't matter. Jace is gonna go flip. Yeah, I mean, we were gonna be able to forecast anyways. See what Jace shrinks. I don't think it matters. I feel like whatever Jace shrinks. Yeah, okay. Jace is just gonna go ham and cheese after the Stoneforge, I guess. Sure. I could just not forecast and then jam everything at chase. I think I'd rather do that, honestly. Actually, I wouldn't like that, but I think I'm going to be doing that. And Magus and forecast seems like a non-bo to me. Okay, where's the non-bo? I'm actually not seeing it. Because I'm not attacking with the Niv Magus Elemental. Because the Niv Magus Elemental, most of the time, it's just sitting around, waiting for me to draw Flusterstorm. And in the hands where I just have Flusterstorm Niv Magus, I could be... I usually just don't have a Sky Hussar. And if I do, I can just choose between drawing cards and then... I mean, it's like any tempo deck, you know, you just kind of choose whether or not you want to be playing aggro with the Niv Magus Elemental or sitting back and drawing a ton of cards with the Sky Hussar. But you're right, I guess there's some tension with the creature that I want to be attacking and blocking with. Yeah, because I mean, like, here I'm not really attacking with a 1-2. Main phase Gulligan's Command. I think I'm just going to get Spell Snared here. I mean, Delver is really fun, but I was trying to play Jeskai Delver, and I just kept losing, and it felt awful. Okay. I get to resolve Sword here, probably. The issue is I just remanded Kolaghan's Command, so playing the sword doesn't feel great. I think I'm probably just gonna Meddling Mage on Kolaghan's Command. But yeah, so with the red splash, I guess I'm just trying to make it more of a tempo deck with Bolt instead of... What am I running now? Oust? I mean, I can definitely see that. The argument where Oust is not great when you're trying to tempo people out makes a lot of sense to me. But I was also just in 2 colors, and I didn't really have better options. Like, Path is pretty abysmal. Snag is fine, I guess. Tap these 2. Honestly, I do not. I've been thinking about it. I just haven't, like, sat down and really decided how seriously I want to take this. Because I've just kind of been streaming whenever I have free time. So it's usually, like, in the mornings on the weekdays. Around, like, 10 a.m. Like, Pacific Standard Time. But at the same time, like, I'm in the middle of midterms. And those are going to be going on for the next however many weeks. Like, basically until the quarter ends, honestly. So, and they're all over the place. So I can't keep, like, a regular streaming schedule in the morning. I guess I could start to stream in the evening more often. But I don't know. I think I'm just going to pass here. I'm very happy. I get to just draw cards. I have 50 creatures on the board. This just feels like an Archmage's Charm. Yeah, makes sense. It checks out. And then this way I also get the hold up Stormtamer, protect the Meddling Mage. But yeah, I think the Jeskai version would be really funny. Honestly, maybe what I'm looking for is a creature that doesn't have like dog shit power toughness for the two slot, the 2 drop slot, 2 3 drop slot. Because that way I could actually have something intimidating to put the Embercleave on that isn't just a Nib Magus Elemental. Because, I mean, like, Nib Magus Elemental by itself already wins the game, so I feel like putting an Embercleave and the only good target is Nib Magus, I think that's just a little too win more. Could play around a board wipe here, but I also kind of just want to draw cards. 1, 2. Sure. You have Pyromancer. Maybe. I feel like we're too low on instant sorceries. Actually, wait, let me just send the deck list. I have it somewhere. Actually, I put it on Stream Decker. I decided to set that up this morning. I haven't set that up in a year. But yeah, I think we're on 12 instant sorceries. Which just doesn't seem like enough. I honestly am game to get Maul here. It's just more damage than Batterskull. Yeah, I think we're only on 12 though. 4, 8, 12. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Sure. Oh, there goes the sword. Snap. Yeah. So this is fine though. We get plenty of value out of our cards. Sure. But now Jaxter's completely tapped out. I don't know. How do they win from here? Well, gonna draw another card. Is Geist a horrible idea? I don't think Geist is horrible. I'm looking for things to slap Embercleave on. I feel like if I'm playing Geist, I want to be playing Maul. I think Maul and Geist is really fucking good. I mean, I think you could play... Like, I wouldn't hate playing Geist in the blue-white version. I think Geist in the blue-white version makes sense. But I'd also really want to fit forces in if I was playing Geist. Queller. I don't hate Queller either. Brings its toughness up to 4, and then it gives it 3 power. I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe a 3 power creature would be good. But I also feel like I'm being picky for like no particular reason. I'm just gonna play Maul here. Equip to the Stoneforge. Cool. I mean, I could play Click or Obstructionist. I think those would be good. Because that fits like the 3 power build. I think those would be really good with 3 CMC. I feel like we could find some good 3 CMC ones. I think Mantis Rider would be metal as hell. Because then it would have so many keywords. Mantis Rider already has Flying, Haste, and Vigilance. But then you put Embercleave on it, and now it has Double Strike and Trample. It seems win more, and the other issue is I don't really want to be playing a 3-1. But Mantis Rider seems really fun in this deck. I like that. Okay. What do we do here, though? Probably just Fito. Maybe like a little bit of Tailfun. Something, I don't know. Because this plays like this weird hybridization of humans and Delver. That's fair. Maybe I just need a hate bear creature. There's the what is it? The Archon of Emeria that Death and Taxes is playing. That one might be good. That also has flash too, right? So 2/3. I think Thalia would be great in my Niv Magus deck. No, it doesn't have flash. So it's a 2/3. Each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. Okay, that doesn't seem good. Okay, we're probably not running those. Okay, we run Clarion Spirit. How broken would that be? I fucking love Aspiring Spike. Aspiring Spike is my hero. We could run the Spike special. We could play fucking what's that card called? It's the 4-mana saga. The 4-mana saga. Could we run Spread Dragon? I feel like Spread Dragon would be bad in this deck too. It's gonna be so hard to run Spells Matter. Do you know what else is bad in this deck? No lands. The giant one. It's like the Song of the Scouts or something. This hand seems a little. We'll keep it. I don't want to lose super hard to hand disruption. It has lands at least. Here, wait. Let me find it. Wait. Showdown of the Scowls. You get to exile 4 for 4 mana, and then you could play those until the next the next turn. And then whenever you cast a spell, you could put a +1 counter on one of your creatures. Seems really good when our curve is just 1, but it also seems really bad with counter spells. So that's probably not the plan. Okay, probably just opt here, I think. It's pretty innocuous. Scour, sure. Showdown of the Scowls. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's quite good enough. or like synergistic enough in this deck. But Spike was playing it in red white or red black. Was it red white or red black? Or no, it was red white brought back, and it was pretty spicy. Oh my god! Let me click the hollow fountain. Sure. I mean, Showdown looks like fun. I think, because there's plenty of good cards that we could be running. I'm just not sure which ones we do actually want to be running. I mean, maybe, yeah. I'm definitely not opposed to trying it. But yeah, even running like a singular 4-drop wouldn't be terrible. But we're already running a lot of top end with equipment. So maybe no more top end. Maybe like 3 is probably the highest. No, I'm not afraid of counter magic. I'm just saying it plays poorly with counter magic. But I guess we could throw away our counter spells to Germiette Magus Elemental, hypothetically. Kroxa. Did we leave? We left all the tailspins on the sideboard. Yeah, I guess Jack's just literally playing Grixis Control. I'm down. I fucking love Grixis Control. Yeah, Mentor might not be it. But Mentor does play pretty well with putting a lot of power in play. Okay. Okay, once I hit 4 mana, this Spectral Sailor's about to pop off. It's interesting. I played this deck a year ago, and I'd be using the Sailor's ability like once every match. Now, I don't think I've used it once in 3 leagues. Which doesn't even make sense. I don't know why. There just haven't really been opportunities to use it. Yeah, but I'm definitely interested in some sort of... Honestly, the deck could run Skyclave Apparition. We could just work the metabase. I think that would be a really, really good addition. I was thinking about running it, but I think that might just be the correct choice, is to run Skyclave. Anger. Just remand this. I think we'll probably just get rid of the anger for good here. Yeah, Daniel? True, true. I think that's definitely a consideration. I don't think it's going to be easy to play, just like randomly adopt it into our multiple island mana base. I think it's definitely a little suspect. No, I don't think we can. I mean, it's hard. Like, there's so many spells that we want to be playing. They all cost a lot of mana. I don't think I'm interested in playing anything if I drew now. Yeah, I think the 3 islands really just kind of do it in for me. And, like, especially if we decided to go into Jeskai, I'd really like to be on these Spire Bluff Canals and these Steam Vents. So that's 7 lands that can't cast it. I mean, that's a hypothetical mana base, but if I'm trying to play Embercleave, then it's kind of a realistic mana base too. ETB, Zoinks, sure. I mean, it's really just Embercleave. It's for the beam. I think we'll just draw 1 here, and then we'll just discard it, because I think having this oust is going to be really important. I mean, true, true. I think red might not be worth playing. It's maybe. I mean, you splash red in Delver specifically for access to Bolt. And, like, this deck isn't making a whole lot of concessions to splash red. It's like, look at our mana. It's just all blue spells. Okay. Discard. But you're right, it might not be worth playing red. I feel like we're just gonna get drowned here. Okay, maybe not then. I'd love a Stoneforge or a Sword to jam here. Play Nymphmagus. Could eat this oust if it gets countered by something. We could still play for Dispute. But what threats are we not able to cast? No, I mean, I think it's a good concern to have. Or an important concern to have. Oh, no, Apparition is 100% a real cost to play. Like, I think we'd have to cut these islands, play we could not be on Jeskai. We would have to be on straight blue-white. And then we could run Apparition. We'd run 1 island and then, like, 2 Hollowed Fountains or something. We could play Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp seems funny. Seems a lot worse in a deck without Vial, though. Which I suppose we could also be running if we wanted to. But Vial seems a lot worse when you're vialing with 1-mana creatures and not big chunky creatures. 2-3 CMC. You're just cheating on so much less mana. True. But, like, even in blue-white, we can't really play Apparition without making large concessions to our mana base. Because right now we take an average of about 4 damage off of our lands. If we added Apparition, we'd be taking 6 damage, like we were playing Temur Delver or something. Which is okay, but our deck is very slow up front. How many fetches are we running? We're running 7. But we'd be, like, fetching twice, playing a fast land. Yeah, Rock Delver's not terrible. I think, like, I was doing fine with Dreadhorde Arcanist when I was testing it in paper, but I can't afford Dreadhorde Arcanist online because, for whatever reason, that card's still expensive, despite being banned in the format that it was good in. I'm not just dead to this Croxa, but I'm dead to Croxa plus basically anything. Okay. I mean... Hmm. That's actually really heartwarming. I don't know. Because I'm not a very good writer. I think I'm just dead here, though. Bringing back the good old days, back when we actually played paper Magic all the time. That was good. I was so excited we could have like gone to another GP last year or something, but I don't know, disaster I guess. I suppose Tail's End's just really solid because they're on Croxa and back when Hogak is, you know, the good old days. I guess the Ouse are good because they've got Croxa and they also have uh, Tassiger. I'd imagine Tasker's probably a one of them. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna yoink the Meddling Mages out. I think Meddling Mage is fine, but I think it's also mostly just a bear. They've just got such a good diversity of removal. They have Kolaghan's Command, Drown in the Lock, Fatal Push, and Lightning Bolt. Like, I feel like I could name the statistically correct choice, and I'd be wrong, like, all the time. Be wrong 75% of the time. Keep. Mold. It's probably a keep. I think it's not great. Definitely not excited about it, but also not like the mulligan. I actually buy their cards, but to be fair, decks like this just don't really cost a whole lot. I guess that's the advantage of brewing. And then some of the lesser used lands cost basically nothing. Like Secret Up Coast is like 4 cents or something ridiculous. 13 or 13 tenths of a ticks. Okay. I know. It's basically Delver of Secrets. It might be a little bit worse. Disclaimer. I mean, you slap an equipment on it and then it becomes a Delver, right? Of course, it's got that going for it. We'll see. If this is a search for Escantha, I'm gonna concede just because. No, I'm just kidding. But I really do fucking love Search for Escantha. Yeah, we're just gonna make it a Delver of Secrets. I don't think we're eating the Batter Skull. I actually don't know what we're eating. Maybe we are eating the Batter Skull. It feels bad. But Batter Skull isn't even good, because it just lines up so poorly against the threats in that deck. I think Batter Skull is slow and it's also bad. Oh well. There goes the Batter Skull slow argument. I mean, honestly, jamming the Stoneforge here is really good too. Huh. I'm just gonna play the Stoneforge. I think being able to get Sword is way too good. I love Maul. Maul is so good. Yeah, so the idea is basically playing Ember Cleave over Maul, which sounds okay, but I think Maul's just also way too good. It has so much synergy with the Magus Elemental. I think this blue-white version just has so much going for it. I think Oust can be clunky at times, but it's also really good. Sure, Stoneforge bites the dust. But if we could resolve this sword, that would be amazing. Unfortunately, we have 3 cards in our graveyard for Drown in the Loch, though. I mean, it does feel too meme. That's kind of why I wanted to have some tokens. But I don't. It just seems like there's too much tension. I think if we had creatures that had 2 and 3 power as like the average in the deck, it could be good. Sure. Maybe I was too scared of Drown in the Loch there. I should have just jammed Sword. Because now they're just going to hold up Archmage's Charm, Drown in the Loch, and then maybe Cryptics. I'd imagine there's probably at least 1 Cryptic in there. By at least 1, I mean probably exactly 1. I also feel like, since it's on Croxa, you're probably not on too many... Is Mentor expensive? I actually don't think Mentor is that expensive. If the card doesn't see a lot of play, it's usually not terribly expensive. We might just be jamming this sword. This feels bad. I'd imagine they're also on Planeswalkers too, though. Maybe. Maybe we might just have enough spells to make it work. Tokens are good. I don't know. Closes games quickly. I think it might just be good enough. I think Mentor is definitely one of those spells where... Okay, the sword resolves. For whatever reason. I'll take it, I guess. Non-creature spell count. Well, it's 15 if you include the equipments, which I think sounds reasonable, and then it's 12 if you don't. So I feel like things like Young Pyromancer would be worse, but I think... Okay, what is this? Croxa? Croxa? Yeah. I think we're just eating this guy Hussar. Yeah. I don't it's complicated because there's not just a good 3MC creature. And basically any color combination. I think if we could pull from any color, it would just be green. Just run Goyf. Okay. Draw. Huh. Yeah. I mean, we could play more colors. Oh, you know what's the spicy thing? What if we didn't splash red? Because we were talking about how, like, free splashing is in this deck. What if we splashed green and played... Oh, we could play Wild Cattle. That would be kind of interesting. But what if we played Toski? What if we pulled out the Aspiring Spike special and just jammed Toski? I should have Flusterstormed that. I wasn't paying attention. I was getting really excited about a squirrel. And not a furry, I swear. Okay, well... not Flusterstorming that. Might have just cost us the game. Do I even need forecasts? No, we have Sky Hussar and Toski. This might be pretty good against us. It's gonna kill both of our equipments. Oh no. Okay, well I mean, I guess even if I did Flusterstorm that, our equipments would have died anyways. So, it's really not that bad when you think about it, I guess. Probably just discard Flusterstorm here. Oh, no, for sure. I kind of screwed myself over here. I could have just cast that Flusterstorm. But Stoneforge off the top can fetch literally nothing. Think about how broken that would be. Okay. I mean, Kirksa can't escape this turn, which is good. Toski sounds like an absolute blast, though. I was toying around with the idea of playing Toski. I don't think it would be particularly good, though. I think Toski would probably just... Okay, one more lane and we could just play the Sky Hussar. It's so bad. And our creatures start dying. This card does not... It gets pretty bad pretty fast. But I feel like most of the time it's not bad. Yeah, it doesn't seem very good with the Sky Hussar plan, because you're kind of trying to like tap your creatures and then draw cards, and then Toski kind of wants you to go a little bit wider. But Maul plus Skyclave, or Maul plus Toski does seem really fun. I think like Squirrel Blade just does that better. Does Spike even play Maul? I feel like he should. I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be, but like that's kind of what it is too. I wasn't like that's kind of how it plays, you know. Sometimes you just get a big Magus Elemental, and then it just kind of slaps people. I guess, yeah. Then like the other way we win is we could just win fairly with Stoneforge and then small little flyers. If there was a good, like, just overall creature lord, I think that would be another candidate. Kind of like the Benalia captain, but just not bad. Okay, I think I'm just dead. Okay. So... Okay, so what were we talking about? We were talking about... Okay, Goyf? Actually, okay, so on second thought, I think this would be a really terrible Goyf deck. True. The overlap between... Okay, that's fair. Maybe we need something that just ties the plans together. I used to run Throne of the Godpharaoh. This card was actually really good. So the thing with Throne of the Godpharaoh is it allowed us to gain leverage off of tapping our creatures to put things into play, but we also got extra damage from attacking, and we also got damage for forecasting. So no matter what, we got damage. So I was running 2 Throne. I ran 3 for a little bit. Throne plus Copter is definitely not bad. I don't know. We could just run Copter again, honestly, over the Meddling Mages, because then we have Copters, Stoneforges, and Sky Hussars, all as like good draws. Yeah, so like we could run one Throne and then 3 Smuggler's Copters. 2 Throne, 2 Copter. I don't really like to... I feel like Copter on average is better than Throne. So you have to remember that Throne doesn't do anything. Throne's like almost a win more card. I know. We could run Treasure Mage to search for Copter and Throne. That seems so bad. Do we have a Stoneforge for vehicles? We don't have a Stoneforge for vehicles. Oh, you know what? We could also run What's that new? No, there's the MDF the modal double face card for what was it? It was the 3 mana creature. The MDFC. It was the blue legendary. Well, you know what? Scryfall categorizes an MDFC. Definitely a boomer. I mean, I'm about as boomer as it gets, honestly. So it's no. That be in here. Well, okay, so it is legendary and it's a creature. And it has 3 CMC and it was released in Kaldheim. Imagine. Delver playable in Modern? Couldn't be me. Oh, I guess we could just say that it's a commander and that would already... Well, I guess we don't have to do that. Okay, so CMC 3 and then it's also... format Modern. This card would be a really... Yeah, Cosmina! Cosmina! There we go. That's the card I was looking for. Cosmina. This one. This one. Okay, so it's basically a tireless tracker, right? But we can turn it into a 3/3 equipment. Or vehicle. I noticed. If you squint hard enough, I mean, it is a tireless tracker. Like, how? In what way is this not a tireless tracker? Just kidding. Okay, vehicle deals damage to a player. Player exiles that many cards from the top of their library. We play lands from this case. So we get 3 looks of the land every time this hits people. Ooh, I mean, okay, I think it's just bad. But oh, it's so sweet at the same time. It's so sweet. I don't think we could run it though. Could we run it? It's so slow. But like the Omen Keel isn't bad in our deck. It just doesn't have evasion. If this card had evasion, it would be so good. It would just be so good. Okay, so I think we're gonna cut the Meddling Mages. Although Meddling Mage is pretty interesting in the sideboard to beat Titan, and since I really fucking hate Titan, we're going to keep the Meddling Mages in the sideboard. Okay. It was broken until everybody realized it was bad. Okay, so yeah, we'll go back to Copter because I liked having the extra threats. So now we have insane threat density. We have Stoneforge, we have Copter, and then we also have Hussar, which gives us a lot of cards. And then Throne is just spicy. So here's the other thing that's really good with our artifacts, because I really want something that like goes with all of these artifacts that we're playing, that like benefits us for sticking in blue with all our blue creatures, but then also benefits these. And I really want to run Chief Engineer, or not Chief Engineer, Grand Architect. Is that the name of the card? It's a 3-mana one that buffs our creatures, but then also like lets us cast our. But I feel like we can't play Grand Architect. I think if we play Grand Architect, we're just, I don't know. I think Grand Architect, like it sounds really good in here. The same time, well, there's no room for it. I mean, that's the main thing, honestly. B, it dies to Lightning Bolt. That's not very good. That's not a point in its favor. I mean, I'm game. What does a Pharaoh do? I feel like a Pharaoh would be really fun to run. But I think this is probably like the more optimal version of it. Over playing something like Meddling Mage. Meddling Mage is good, but Copter actually lets us kill people. And I think 3 Copter is really good. I'm not opposed to running 2 Throne though. I feel like 2 Throne, 2 Copter feels bad. Maybe if I could run... Not a big fan of the Stoneforge package. Maybe it's not the greatest, but Sword is really good. I was playing a lot of games and Sword was solid. Because they made, I don't know, maybe it's not good enough. Maybe we just don't play stuff. Just run 4 Embercleave and bolts. Yeah, but I don't feel like... What's Embercleave even doing in this deck? It doesn't... Like, are you going to equip Embercleave to your Spectral Sailor? Yeah, but that adds, what, 3 points of power to the table for 2 mana? I mean, the thing is, Stoneforge is just solid in this deck. The body is great because it can either get equipped by its own swords, or it can crew copters, or it can tap for the Sky Hussar. And then on top of that, the sword makes our dorky little creatures good. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to hear your arguments as to why this is not a good Stoneforge shell, or why Stoneforge shouldn't be in this deck. Because, I mean, like, in my experience, the card has been performing very well. Okay, what do we run? Feels really slow. I mean, this deck is slow. That's the thing. Like, this deck doesn't kill people quickly. Like, you either whittle them down with your 2-mana Delver of Secrets, or you kill them, like, turn 7 with Niv Magus Elemental. But we can't, like, I don't know, like, if we have 4 creatures in play, which I have no idea how we're getting 4 creatures in the way, by the way. Going ham on blue-red. Okay, so actually, let's just hypothetically, what would that deck even look like? I feel like at that point, we're not playing Sky Hussar. I feel like we're playing Ninja of the Deep Hours, and then we're playing, like, a Fairy Plan. I think it's just a completely different deck, like, fundamentally, from something like this. But I think we could totally make it work. I think that's definitely a Calcite Snapper deck. And I mean that in the least ironic way possible. Okay, actually, let's just draw this up. So we're probably going to be running like my old shell, which had Calcite Snapper plus Wingcrafter, which can actually give Calcite Snapper evasion. And then the card becomes a lot better. So unfortunately, we can't equip Embercleave to it, which is probably not good enough. So maybe there's a little bit too much tension between those 2 cards. So we're probably running... So this is kind of the more aggressive package. So we go 4 Wingcrafter. We could be playing Grixis too for more ninjas. Do we? Or we could play Teamer. I feel like we could play Teamer here. We play a lot of evasion and then we play Teamer. That seems good. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. We get Toski Ninjas. So we run... I mean, this seems like a 3 Toski deck, honestly. Bearer of Secrets, right? I even know his surname. Or his full title. Yeah, I'm going to end the stream in a couple of minutes. I have to take a quiz. But actually, I don't. It's Thursday. Well, I have to go to class. I have to go to class at 1. I know, I am a nerd. Imagine having to go to class. So we get Toski, we get Ninja of the Deep Hours. We're probably running Noble Hierarch in this deck. Like, we're not planning on going super wide. Maybe Hierarch isn't necessary. We could run something else, but I've heard a couple people's opinions that Hierarch is... or Bandit Acceleration makes Toski a lot better, and I totally agree with that. So... probably be running that. And then I guess we're going to be running Double Strike. Holy shit, wait. Double Strike with Ninja and Toski sounds so fucking metal. That sounds so good. I love it. I love it. Okay, so maybe we want... Embercleave, Hierarch. Embercleave Hierarch does not seem like a combo. Embercleave Hierarch seems like there's a lot of tension there. Also, Ninja and Embercleave seems like there's a lot of tension. But there's a lot of upside, too. Double Strike Toski. That's what I'm saying. Double Strike Toski and like Double Strike Ninja at the deep power sounds really good. Ninja's pretty bad. But like imagine Ninja with an Embercleave on it with a Toski in play. It connects and you draw 4 cards. Okay, maybe I'm not sold. That sounds bad. it sounds a little bad. It depends on what the rest of our threat base looks like, though. Like, how are we amassing creatures for Embercleave? Yeah, but like, why wouldn't we just have 2 value threats? Because we're in Teamer anyways, right? Maybe that's not the correct mentality. Young Pyromancer. Yeah, but like, how do we... Young Pyromancer... Well, okay, so... Like, I know there's decks where we could play, like, 4 Young Pyromancer and then, like, 4, like, Zolrael. And that's fine, right? But those wouldn't be good Embercleave decks because we don't have anything good to slap the Embercleave onto. So I kind of just want to be running cantripping creatures a lot, right? I feel like... The issue is cantripping creatures have really shitty bodies. We could just jump super hard into the mid-range field with like 4 tireless tracker and then try to like lower the rest of the curve. The issue is I don't know. Like these Wingcrafters feel out of place. I feel like Wingcrafter plus Ninja is something that I'd be interested in running. Get probe, wait. Alright, I'm waiting. I've got my grape juice. Oh, we're playing Embercleave and Niv Magus? I feel like Embercleave and Niv Magus seems to win more. I don't know about Tracker either. I want something that has... Okay, so we're playing the cheap creature package plus Niv Magus. Okay. Okay, I don't hate it. I mean, at this point, I still feel like we probably want... It depends on, like, what other parts of the package are running. We probably pull... So, like, this part of the creature package, the Sailors and the Intruders, are basically... I am being pulled in 6 different directions. I want to run Tireless Tracker. I want to run Ninja the Deep Hours. I want to run Embercleave. I want to splash white for Wild the Cattle. I want to play, you know, but like we can't all live in that world. We definitely cut white. We're in Teamer. We're in Teamer. We're in Teamer. So we've got Wingcrafter, Niv Magus. Actually, we could revisit one of my old decks. Let's pull... Here we go. Mono Blue Lads. Yeah, so this is the old blue deck that we ran. This is one of the first drafts of Strictly Better Humans. We have 3 Mutavaults, 18 Islands, and we're running 27 creatures. It was only 2018, it wasn't that long ago. So we've got... Oh yeah, so you could actually soft lock your opponent's creatures if you have Misplayed Shinobi plus Wingcrafter out, which is kind of metal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I say we do like a little ninja package. Probably with Icefang Coatl. That's what I want to do with Toski. Yeah, we could run Niv Magus too. I don't see why not. So we go like 4. Okay, well, Ice Fang's really expensive. Maybe we don't do Ice Fang. How expensive is that? I actually don't want to know. I mean, hey, if my Brewing puts a deck in the meta, and it's something like this, I'm gonna be exceptionally happy. MTGO. Oof. Oof! Oh, apparently this card's still unbelievably broken. Mono blue aggro with 3 Toski at the top. Yeah, that's basically it. It's like EDH in Modern. Is Throne of Eldraine even legal in Standard? They already banned Oko. Kidding. Was there anything else in that? Yeah, I mean, it's you have the 3 Toski at the helm, right? Okay. Well, I have 16 minutes to perfect this list. And by perfect, I mean maybe get something on paper. It's like EDH. I mean, maybe Hierarch just isn't good enough. I feel like naturally just casting the Toski and then just running 18 lanes is fine. Hierarch. Is Hierarch good enough? So we could either run fairies. This is a variant that doesn't run fairies. Embercleave is the reason to be in Teamer. So probably on the 4 Bolt, 4 Remand, 4 Flusterstorm tentatively. And then we're trying to be on 18 lands, right? Fairy package. I think the fairy package is really good. I think fairy package makes ninjas worth running. Also, what's the Fairy Seer is a really fucking good 1-drop in this deck because it enables our ninjas, and I suppose we're going to run and then 2. Oh no, you 100% can. Have you seen my... I was referencing one of my popper lists earlier when I was making this. Yeah, look at this. This is my popper deck. I haven't updated it since Git Probe and Gush were legal. But we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Okay, so we're still working on Modern. We're still working on Modern. We'll make the popper one work. Yeah, Pawblade. It's good. I didn't name it Pawblade, but I should have. We have Cat, Hawk. It's good. Okay. So we're at 59 cards right now. The issue is I feel like Hierarch probably isn't where we want to be. Really? Oh my god. It's such a good deck. I love it so much. Actually, it was terrible and I could never win with it. But that's also because I think I made some really poor decisions when I was creating the threat package. I think Hierarch is slow. We're also not tapping it for mana. We're attacking to like enable ninjas. Which doesn't seem good. I think... Oh, we need spell stutters, right? That's probably a good idea. Okay, maybe... What else? Maybe we just run 4 spell stutter and then we run 1 brazen borrower. Brazen borrower kind of like rounds it out, and then we have the clean 60 cards. The issue is we don't... Do we have an issue with this? Very miscreant over Wingcrafter. Okay, so I'm going to defend Wingcrafter real quick. Wingcrafter is the greatest Magic card ever printed in Magic the Gathering. Wingcrafter can not only give flying to give our Mistblade Shinobis, give flying to our Mistblade Shinobi to allow it to bounce creatures. It can also enable our Ninja of the Deep. Holy shit, holy shit, wait, I actually need 4 of these. That aside, it can enable all of these creatures to gain evasion, but it could also enable our Niv Magus Elemental to gain evasion, and then deal extra damage. Additionally, Wingcrafter's Soban can only be removed so it stays as long as you control both of them. However, you can just Wingcrafter enchant to whatever. So like maybe a Niv Magus Elemental, but you don't have Flusterstorm in hand, which will give it flying, and then you can swing with the Niv Magus Elemental or the Wingcrafter, and then bounce it with Ninja of the Deep Hours. When Ninja of the Deep Hours enters, if you bounce the Niv Magus Elemental, it'll actually unsoulbound it, and then when Ninja enters, you'll actually get the prompt asking you if you want to soulbound your Ninja of the Deep Hours to your Wingcrafter. Potentially, you might not need all 4, but I found flying to be relevant in plenty of matchups. Then I think Embergleave's good here. Maybe Borrower is not great. Potentially, we splash black, and then we get Bitter Blossom, which makes this easier to cast for less. But I think we could probably make it cast for pretty cheap anyways. Probably like 3 mana is about what I'd expect to cast it for. So what do we do for the lands? We're probably playing like pretty heavy red. I love how we're splashing green only for Toski. That is a fucking masterpiece. I love that. But it makes the mana base easier. I think we're on the full 4 Spire Bluff Canal. Then we probably run, well, maybe less than that. Maybe like... Do we even run... Do we run Breeding Pool, or do we just... Probably just Breeding Pool. Maybe we run... Let's run a Forest as well, so we can have access to more, like, in the sideboard. Definitely. I feel like if you're not splashing in 4 colors, you're just not playing the game correctly. At least this time it's a Force CMC card. Well, okay, so the thing is we could splash for Bitter Blossom, but I was also thinking about getting Ingenious Infiltrator, which honestly might be the better version of this deck than the Toski. Because you could get Ingenious Infiltrator as a 4 of, and then just run 2 Ninja of the Deep Hours. And then instead of the Brazen Borrower, you could run like, or instead of the 3rd Toski, air quotes, you could run 1 Fallen Shinobi. Don't act like splashing 1 card is new to you. I mean, it's not new to me. It's just not. The thing is Wild Mikado necessitates you to have access to white, so you might as well be running Path to Exile. And then I was also running 2 Helixes in the main deck to help mitigate the life loss from my abysmal mana base. And then, what else? I think I was running something in the sideboard. I'm not sure what it was. It might have been Rest in Peace. Actually, no, I was on Ravenous Traps because I was adamant that Ravenous Trap was really good against KCI and Phoenix. And since then, Ravenous Trap has been absolutely dog shit, and I would be running Rest in Peace today. Yeah. That deck actually didn't have too many mana issues. It was mostly fine. I want to be 5 colors so we can get Tribal Flames too. True. The issue is we're kind of a creature deck. We're 26 is as low as I'd like to go. We could, I don't know. Spellstutter, Fairies here. Cut Remand for Flames. Yeah, but like we we don't even have room for the other spells to like even run 5 colors. But 5-color ninjutsu would be the fucking meme. I would love to play that. Okay, how many other lands do we need? We're running 6 more lands. Probably 3 or 4 islands. I could even see us running 4 islands, to be honest. This is at 16. I'm gonna play 3 islands, I think. And then I'll play 3 flooded strands. This seems fine. This seems perfectly fine. Maybe even 1 less Spire Bluff Canal for more access to green. No, I think this is fine. Sideboard, probably just run the Temur Delver sideboard for the most part. I think... Are there matchups where I'd like to side out the Diffecus Elemental? Probably not. I think I'd probably just like... But you know what? This deck does want Storm Tamer, though. This deck really does want, like, access to Storm Tamer. I don't think it's necessary, though. And this deck also wouldn't mind having something a little bit less Embercleavy. I feel like Embercleave has tension with, like, a lot of the creatures in the deck. Or, like, just our plan of attack, which is just kind of hit them with a ton of small ones. But Embercleave is really fucking spicy with Ninja and Toski, so it'll stay. It'll stay. I'm probably not going to ever play this deck, though. I think Veil is probably just too good to run, or not to run. And then I think this is also a Mystical Dispute deck. I don't know what else we're running. We're probably running Braids. There's the new red-white Braid, but we can't play that in this one. Yeah, 1 CNC Cryptic does seem good. I'm definitely down to run 4 of those. Our Dredge matchup is only like 99% abysmal because Mistplate Shinobi kind of pulls a decent amount of weight. New Wear Tear? What's the new Wear Tear? Because the new Abrade is like the red-white 3 damage to creature planeswalker, and then... Or something like that, I don't know. Yeah, whatever that card is. I think we're both talking about the same card. Yeah, it can hit enchantments, I think. Yeah, you're right. Okay. 8 cards to go. I actually don't even know what else I'd run. Oh, I know. Well, actually, I know what I would run. Do you know what this deck needs? More than it needs Brazen Borrower? I know what this deck needs more than it needs Brazen Borrower. We need the... And then we'll run the other 3 in the sideboard. Okay. Ghost Corner and a Life from the Low. I mean... I don't hate it. Like, our deck could just run... Borrower's not great. Huntmaster's solid, though. Could just straight up win games. Run into full 4. Which, you know, could be... Oh, wait. Actually, do you know what seems like a good counterspell in both this deck and, like, this deck? What's the fucking... It's like Test of Wills? It's the one the Merfolk sideboard sometimes run. It's so good. That's actually the screensaver. It's the 4 of us just, like, chilling after we got our Lord and Savior Reduke to sign the Master of the Bells. I was so happy. Needs another land at least? Unified Will. Okay, I think we probably run Unified Will over Remand. That's honestly probably a change for the other deck too. We just run Unified Will. I feel like that card's really good. Yeah, totally not creepy. I know. Well, you know, it's hard out here being a fangirl. You know what? We probably want like mystical disputes. Or not mystical disputes. Three Tails Ends. Tails Ends would be good here. I think. Do we go on Metal League as well? What? Wait, where are we putting Metal League? Oh my god, yeah, we had the cardboard mantis. I miss GPs. GPs were so fun. I don't mind ceremonious rejections here either. What are we losing to at this point? Probably just Dredge, but I don't think we could really prevent that. Our deck can't really support Feed the Clan. We could run... We can't really support Life Goes On either. In fact, we really can't support a whole lot. But we've got Hunt Master of the Fells, so that's kind of alright. Maybe we run two... What do we run? Maybe just Dispel. I feel like Dispel steps on Flusterstorm's toes a little bit. So maybe not that. Although so does Dispute, so... Part of that. Maybe just negates or Disdainful Strokes. 2 Disdainful Stroke. Oh, Aether Gust. That's what I'm missing. The 2 Aether Gust. 2 Aether Gust would be great rounding out this sideboard. Weather the Storm? Actually, Weather the Storm would be fine too. Weather the Storm is the less beamy option than Hunt Master of the Fells. We're already running the 1 Hunt Master main deck, so I think we run 3 Weather the Storm in the sideboard. Or maybe we just run 2, and then the last Hunt Master in the side. Okay, and then I think you're right. I think we probably want to be on 20 lands in this deck, because we're not complete masochists. Maybe. But what do we cut? I feel like we have to cut some of our spells. But I don't know which one of the... or which spells we're cutting. Honestly, I feel like this isn't a 4 Embercleave deck. I would like to say it's a 4 Embercleave deck, but A, the card is legendary. B, we're planning on drawing a lot of cards. And C, actually, I guess that's really all the reasons I need to give. So I think we'll probably cut 2 Embercleaves, and then we could run 2 more lands. Cut a Flusterstorm. We could. Actually, 4 islands is probably not great in our Embercleave deck. Or whatever. Hunt Master of the Falls. Who typed it? I don't know. I'm gonna be kicked out of my own church. We could cut a Flusterstorm. 3 Flusterstorms probably fine, yeah. I kind of don't mind the extra Flusterstorm, but... like 4. Because it's like, you use the first one, like sometimes I have a Niv Magus and a Flusterstorm in my hand, and I'm on the play against a random opponent, or I know what they're playing, and I'll just play or lead the Flusterstorm, because you can counter a Thoughtseize, and then you have the second one. Yeah, it's just a good card. Okay, well, no Sky Hussar in this deck, but what do we call this? I don't know. Someone know. It's a pretty descriptive name. Okay, well, here is the masterpiece. I've got to get off. I'm 2 minutes late to class. But it's fine, because it's online university. And I will catch all of you around. Thank you so much for stopping by and sitting with this absolutely Tosscleave. Tosscleave Ninjutsu. Actually, I'm going to change the name. That's too good. Tosscleave Ninjutsu. Oh my god. You know what? I might stream this later today. if I'm feeling abysmal. Like, maybe it's good. Maybe this deck actually has legs. If this deck has legs, maybe I play nothing else for the rest of my life. Alright, peace.